Names are rarely translated. They're often transliterated. Let's try this again. You see, this word Yeshua is an English transliteration of this Hebrew name. So you see, names can be transliterated, which is to say, converting text from one writing system, alphabet or script, to another. You see that these are English alphabet letters right here. This name has been transliterated from Hebrew into English, you see. We don't change people's names no matter their country or language, so if he was Hebrew, so who changed his Hebrew name? The Old Testament was written in the Hebrew script. The New Testament was written in the Greek script. I said there were two Gospels written in Aramaic. That's inaccurate. There are two Gospels that are suspected by some to have an Aramaic original source. So the whole New Testament was written in Greek. Why didn't they use the Hebrew names in the New Testament? Because they wrote it in Greek. And when you change a script from one writing system into another, you transliterate the names so that this is the Greek transliteration of that Hebrew name. We're not changing names, we're changing writing systems and alphabets. You guys, come on now. Every name in a Bible written in the English language has transliterated all the names from both Hebrew and Greek. For instance, the name Moses appears both in the Old Testament Hebrew and in the New Testament Greek. There's the original Hebrew name of Moses. There is the Greek transliteration of the original Hebrew name of Moses. There is the English transliteration of the Hebrew name Moses. Here is the English transliteration of the Greek transliteration of the Hebrew name Moses, twice removed from its original alphabet or writing system into a different writing system with a different alphabet, and then again into a different writing system with a different alphabet. This is called transliteration. It happens all the time. If a Chinese fella by this name comes to the United States of America, we are most certainly going to transliterate his Chinese name from the Chinese writing system into the English writing system or alphabet, and we call him Chin. How do you know that that's the name Chin? Well, you don't till you transliterate it. Most English-speaking people don't read Chinese, I mean to say. It doesn't matter what country you go to, your name doesn't change, I agree, but it certainly gets transliterated, which is not to say changed. The name doesn't change, the alphabet does. The writing system is what changes from China to the United States. We call him Chin, but there's the English transliteration of that Chinese word, which means to display or to list. We don't translate the name Chin from Chinese into English and call him List. We transliterate the name into English so that we know how to say it, the closest we can with our phonetics that we have developed for our region and our language. For instance, my English name translated into Chinese is Rian. According to their phonetics, that's as close as they get to pronouncing it. There's the Chinese characters to replace the English ones. People say all day long in my comment section, well, it doesn't matter where I go in the world, I want people to pronounce my name correct. Look, my best friend was Filipino growing up. His mother pronounced my name Ryan, and I'd say, yes, ma'am. She was my second mother. I did not demand that she pronounce my name Ryan. Ryan? That'll do. I know who you're talking to. I'm coming. If somebody says my name with an accent, well, I know that that's not a form of disrespect. That's the phonetics. And them getting as close to that sound as they can, and as close to that word as they can. It's not some bad thing happening. It's just different languages. I use Chinese and compare it to English because it's disingenuous to compare Spanish and English to Hebrew and English. Once again, anytime you pronounce an English name, say in Russian, or write it in the Russian language, it's going to look like that, sound like that. Because they talk with an accent, and they have a different writing system, and it's not a conspiracy. So in every book of the New Testament, this Hebrew name has been transliterated by the apostles of Jesus Christ into the Greek language, into this name right here, Iesus. Well, what about the J then? Certainly that's a conspiracy. No. You see, depending on where you go in the world, the phonetics are different. And the Germanic tribes and the Germanic languages had a J sound when they talked. They still had a Y sound and an I sound, but they pronounced some words with a J sound even though they spelled it with an I. Words like judge or July, they were already pronouncing with the J sound, and they were still using the I to cover all of the sounds the I makes, including the J. Till the 1500s, when an Italian scholar said, wouldn't it be nice if we had a character in the alphabet to represent the j sound we're all making with our mouths, instead of using that I, which is rather confusing when you're writing a whole bunch of words. How do we pronounce these words? Are they with an I or with a Y sound? No, they have a j sound. We all pronounce them j, so let's put a character in the alphabet. You might say, well, this doesn't happen. This is unprecedented. No, fam. This is the old English alphabet. Notice there's characters that aren't even in the alphabet anymore. There's 2 Z's, there's 2 Y's. Look down here, there's 2 P's. Nope, they're W's. It's changed. Alphabets change and evolve like languages do. New words appear, new letters appear. Old words fall off, old letters fall off. The more different populations come into contact with one another, the more the language changes because words get added in from other languages. America is a melting pot. We got words from all over the world in our language. Point is, the alphabet does change. Otherwise, what are these 3 letters right here? Names can be transliterated from one writing system into another. Otherwise, what name is that? It's Chin. You only know that because I already told you. Or you read Chinese. The Hebrew name is that right there. The Greek transliteration is that right there. The English transliteration of that Greek word is Jesus because they were pronouncing that I with a J sound. It's called phonetics. Study up on phonetics. Just briefly so that you have any idea what you're talking about at all. Jesus is a transliteration of that Greek word, Jesus, because English is a Germanic language and they pronounce that I with a J. That's it. That's all. Yeshua is the English transliteration of the direct Hebrew name of Jesus. But the New Testament was written entirely in Greek, even if there is a suspected Aramaic source for 2 of the books. That is the name recorded in the New Testament for that Hebrew name right there. That's the English transliteration of that Greek word. Just like that's the English transliteration of that Hebrew word. Just like that English word is a transliteration of that Greek word, which is a transliteration of that Hebrew word, this being the English transliteration of that Hebrew word. Wait, this is boring. Yeah, there's nothing exciting about this. It's just languages. People writing stuff in different languages, that's all it is. There is no conspiracy here. Rome didn't do that. The apostles of Jesus Christ wrote the New Testament in Greek. The English translated the entire book, Hebrew and Greek, into English and transliterated all the names from either the Greek or the Hebrew into English, which happens anywhere another writing system is copying a different writing system in their own language. That's not the English transliteration of the Aramaic word. Aramaic is evolved Hebrew. Jesus came from Galilee. In Galilee, they spoke Aramaic, an evolved form of Hebrew. So what did his mother and his friends call him? Isho. If I pronounce that right, I don't know. I don't speak Aramaic. I speak English. So there is the English transliteration of that Aramaic word, which is an evolved form of that Hebrew word. But they spoke Aramaic in Galilee. But the New Testament of the Bible is written in Greek because Jerusalem was under Roman occupation and there they spoke Greek. Anyway, I'm done. There is no extra righteousness to be found saying this word in Hebrew or in Greek or in Aramaic. Every nation, creed, and tongue can call upon the Lord in their own language. I hope this video has been helpful.